Hello everyone, back tuning to the fourth update for the late spring bank holiday weekend. So started these updates last weekend and been a pretty good run of updates from the GFS model that we've been doing for these late spring bank holiday weekends. Very consistent signal for a lot of high pressure influences, a lot of high pressure domination, and just little subtle differences run to run in terms of the sort of small scale detail. But the broad themes of high pressure dominating has been there pretty much from the first update, actually. So we've got to update number 4. We're going to see what the GFS is showing. It's beginning to move into a semi-reliable time frame of the model now. So it's coming into, well, we start off on Friday 25th May, and that's coming into 144 hours. So that is getting closer to the reliable time frame. And even back on Monday is now in the semi-reliable time frame. So it's getting ever closer. We'll go through the fourth update very shortly. Just to say that today's first video was, of course, on a Saturday weekend forecast. So that video is on the homepage right now. There's also a written version. You can get to that from buttons at the top of the page. There's also, earlier on this evening, we released CFS 6 months look ahead. So that's going from next month, from June through to November. It's just for fun, just a snapshot of what long-range CFS model is showing for the next month. So have a look at those videos and see what you think. But we'll get on with the bank holiday weekend update now. So we're beginning, as I say, on Friday 25th of May. This is the day of the getaway for the bank holiday weekend. Still no nasty surprises. Still that idea of high pressure dominating over Scandinavia, also sending a ridge into the Atlantic, and we've got these easterly winds pushing across the country, and they're picking up very warm air from off the continent. Our air temperatures are looking warm to very warm across many parts of the country. It's very hot across much of France and down into Spain, by the way. So we're just on the edge of some real heat there by the time you get through to the bank holiday weekend. But as it is, it's plenty warm enough. So the upper air temperatures are warm to very warm. Quite a bit of cloud across the country, especially central and northern areas, indicated by these white areas just here. The best of the sunshine is in the south and the southeast. Fair amount of dry weather, although there is a few showery bursts across parts of northern England and up into southern Scotland. So these are our afternoon temperatures for Friday. This is 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And down in the southeast, it's really hot down there, actually, across central London. Model wants to lift temperature to between 27 and 29 degrees. Most places are not anywhere near that warm, though. Most places sort of in the upper teens to low 20s. Actually, it's quite cool on the east coast because we've got that easterly wind. There's a fair amount of cloud being brought in. So close to the east coast, it's quite cool. But it is actually a warm and humid air mass that we have across the country for Friday. Right, so we're into the bank holiday weekend itself. This is Saturday the 26th of May, just 1 week away now, and high pressure remains in control of the weather pattern to the north and northeast of Scotland. We continue to bring in these easterly winds. Upper air temperatures are looking very warm, especially for England and Wales. Hot air is just lurking to the far south of the country. Real heat wave going on across France. Morning ray of sunshine as well. Still quite cloudy across central and northern parts of the country, especially Scotland, Northern Ireland, but for much of England and Wales, we're talking about clear blue skies there, and bags of sunshine too. Possibly a few thundery showers being sparked off across southern, southeast parts of Scotland, but the bulk of the country, again, looking dry on Saturday next week. And afternoon temperatures at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, widely across England and Wales into the mid-20s, so 25, 26 degrees being forecast here. You can normally add on a degree or two from that, so possibly up into the upper 20s Celsius across some parts of the country. It is cooler across eastern Scotland and north-eastern parts of England, again, because we've got that easterly wind, got quite a lot of cloud in the north-east as well, so that's pegging back the temperatures there. But it is otherwise a warm and a humid air mass that we've got here. This continues into Sunday, so the high pressure is dominating the weather to the north and northeast of the country. The wind continues to be wafting in from the east. We've got very warm air being brought in with those easterly winds from off the continent. There's the upper air temperatures. They're still looking very warm. Again, heat wave conditions just over the other side of the channel. So it isn't inconceivable that we could turn very hot at the end of the week and next weekend. At the moment, the GFS wants to keep the most intense of that heat across France. But it's not all that far away, and it's still a little way off, so a subtle adjustment just a bit more of a southeasterly component to the wind, or a southerly component to the wind, and we will probably start to bring up some of that real heat that's down there across France. As it is a very warm weekend still going on Sunday next week. So there's the cloud forecast in most parts of the country, away from the far west anyway, having no real cloud, just clear blue skies, loads of sunshine. Look at that, it's universally dry pretty much across the entire country. Afternoon temperatures on Sunday, 27th of May. The highest temperatures are actually migrating over towards the west, still in the in the low to possibly mid 20 Celsius across many parts of western Britain, Wales, Northern Ireland, western Scotland. Over on the eastern side, it's actually bringing in some cooler air from off the North Sea with those easy winds. So just losing the humidity within the atmosphere, I think, as the air turns fresher. But still, as we saw from the upper air temperatures, it is plenty warm enough. And then that takes us to Bank Holiday Monday itself. Monday, 28th of May, the late spring Bank Holiday Monday on this fourth update. Looks like that. And again, it's high pressure all the way. Really high pressure is dominating the weather. Its position is moving slightly to be centred more towards the west of Scotland. But it doesn't make any difference for us for Bank Holiday Monday. It's still close enough to be producing a lot of dry weather. Upper air temperatures are still warm, lowered a little bit from earlier in the weekend, but still plenty warm enough with the upper air temperatures. There's still a lot of sunshine going on as well. It's still almost universally dry. And the temperatures are sort of into the upper teens or the low 20s Celsius. The highest temperatures, interestingly, are across northern and northwestern parts of Scotland, so going down in towards Northern Ireland. That's as the heat is gradually transferring more northwest, and it's cooling down over in the east, just as it turns a bit fresher, really. The air with this easterly doesn't have so much of a southerly component. It's more sourced from like Scandinavia, that sort of area. So that's the reason that the upper air temperatures do lower slightly, and so the surface temperatures lower slightly, but it is still a warm air mass. It's still high pressure dominating. It's just nitpicking, really, because essentially this is looking like a classic Bank Holiday weekend once again. Loads of dry weather, loads of warm weather, plenty of sunshine. You couldn't really ask for better. And I have to say, the heat is very intense for the time of year anyway. Very intense heat is across France. And it will only take a really subtle adjustment to start to bring that heat up, start to suck it up from the south. So the model wants to have us in a direct easterly, which keeps that heat down over France. But if there's just a little bit more of a south-easterly or southerly component to that wind, then because the heat is very intense actually for the time of year over France, it could turn out that this Bank Holiday weekend is a really hot one. So, I mean, no problems at all really with this update, unless you don't like warm weather and dry weather, of course, because it's dry, warm and pretty sunny all the way. We'll probably do the next update, which I think will be the 5th update. Probably do that on Monday. And at least one day next week, we'll have a look at those festivals that are happening over this Bank Holiday weekend again as well. Tomorrow, we've got the Gazzo Sunny Roundup. We'll have our final analogues update for the summer. And we'll also be having a look at the long-range ECMWF and Meteo France seasonal models. That takes us through the whole of the summer and into the autumn. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.